Hey, welcome back. So previously we did this file. If you didn't see that video, go and check it out. But basically we made this one, and we also have a copy of that with all the layers in here. In case we mess that up, we have a backup, right? So I have this one, and now we're going to use the images we saved on the first video I showed to you in order to distort that. So the whole secret here is you go to filter and you go distort and then displays, right? So now here you have a few options, like you have horizontal scale and vertical scale. So we're gonna start. You can play around with this and until you're happy with it. But I'm gonna start with 100 and see what that does. You click OK, and now I'm gonna select one of those layers, PSD files actually that I saved before. So I'm gonna go with the first one, open that, and let's see what that does to the font. Voila, you see, this looks pretty cool. But now the cool part about this is that you can add more distortion to it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go again, filter, distort, and displace. And now I'm gonna make it 150, 150, and I'm gonna select the other, let's say number 3, and let's see what that does. That's a bit too much. I'm gonna go back and try that again, displace. Let's say this time we do it 50 and 50 because we already had some displacement to it, and go with the fourth one. Alright, so here it is. I kind of like this. I'm gonna move this layer below that and maybe leave it somewhere here. Make it a little bit smaller. So edit. Let's go back to what I had. Alright. I'm gonna keep it here. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna get the lasso tool, and then I'm gonna select just one part of it here, and I'm gonna press again Ctrl J, right? So I duplicated that. I have only this part, and now only for this layer I'm gonna go and do distort, displacement, and let's say 150, 150, and select number 2. Let's see what that does. Alright, so it added this sort of weird style, but now I don't want that to be white, so I right click on that layer, I go color overlay, and I change the color to somewhere here. Let's say maybe just go white. I don't know. As I said, I don't know what I'm doing here, just playing around with stuff. And now we also have this layer, so I'm gonna move this on the back, maybe move it somewhere there. Make it a bit smaller, add it in here or there. Maybe I'm gonna move this stuff around. Now what I want to do, I want to play a little bit with this gradient and maybe add some distortion to it as well. So I'm gonna make a copy of that, and you go Ctrl J. So now we have a different one. Now I'm gonna go right click, resterize layer, or maybe resterize layer style. So all of them are folded together. So now I'm gonna go again to filter, distort, displays, 150 is okay, and go with the fourth one. Let's see what that does. Alright, so sort of messed it up, added this stuff. I'm gonna remove the layer on the back. I'm just gonna keep this one, and what it did, actually, it added these weird shapes. So you remember this image, right? It had these diagonal sort of layers, clothing effect. So I applied that one to this, and this is what it did. So I'm gonna leave this here for the moment and come back to this text I have over here. And maybe I don't like that it's white. Maybe I'm gonna try some dark color and see how that's gonna look if I bring it on top. Leave it here. And now what you can do basically is I'm gonna create a new layer, and let's play around a little bit with this. I'm gonna grab similar color to the red one we are using here, and just with a brush tool you can get this brush and just do something like that. And now I'm gonna go to this layer that has the layer that is unlocked, this one, and I'm gonna right click on it and go copy layer style and apply it to this one. Sorry for the noise. Alright, so now I have this one. I'm gonna rasterize layer style and go to filter, distort, displays, 150. I'm gonna go with the second one. So again, it added some sort of distortion to it, and I kind of like that. So I'm just gonna leave it here for the moment. And one thing I'm liking is this text. Maybe I'm just gonna copy just one more part of it, like here, duplicate that, remove the other part, and make it white. So we have this somewhere on the back. So we have it here, we have this one. Now, I don't want to overcomplicate this, but like other stuff that basically you can do is start painting on top of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna paint something with dark, let's say, and do some weird stuff like this. I never done this before. I don't know how this is gonna look like, but I'm just experimenting, as I said. Let's see what we can do with this one, right? So I have this on a separate layer, and now I'm gonna do another distortion, distort, displace, 150. I'm gonna choose again the 4, and it did this thing to it. I kind of don't like this. I'm gonna go back to it, and this time I'm gonna distort, displace, and I'm gonna go crazy, like 600 with 600. I'm gonna choose the 4th one and open. Okay, so it added some sort of weird stuff. I'm just gonna move that on the background and leave it here. And now I'm just gonna change the color of it. Choose this color and maybe just make it a little bit darker. Looks like an army camouflage texture, something like that. But I kind of like that. One thing I don't like about this black circle here, I want to add some shadow to it. So I'm gonna go with a new layer. Just below that circle, I'm gonna grab the brush tool. I'm gonna get this soft round one, and I'm gonna make it bigger. Right, we have it on black, and I'm just gonna start painting behind that brush till it gets this stuff. But I don't want it to be all like that, so I'm gonna delete this selected part. So we have it only in one place, right? You can move this, you can play around with this stuff as much as you want. But one thing that I have in mind that would go very well with this sort of design is doing something else on Illustrator. I have a full class about that, how to do the repetition objects. And on next video, I'm going to move to Illustrator, quickly do that design and come back in Photoshop and show you how you can add some more elements and distortion to this poster. Thanks for following along. See you on the next video.